I'll be serving as your master of ceremonies this evening as we honor both athletic contribution and excellence. This event continues to be an event that all of us in the athletic department look forward to each year. This is my 29th dinner that I've been a part of, and I continue to honor and enjoy what this event means to each and every person here in attendance. There's an additional boost to this year's dinner in that we are celebrating 100 years of athletics here at John Carroll University. Absolutely. This is our opportunity to reflect back on an amazing athletic history. And there is history throughout this room tonight. As trailblazers go, Mary Volmer Orsler is a fairly significant one. Having a good sense of timing also helped. When Susie Brown turned her dream of bringing softball to reality here at John Carroll, it just so happened that Mary was looking to transfer from Indiana University. She found a home at John Carroll. When all was said and done, she would make history as the first team sport female athlete to be voted as a Conference Player of the Year in John Carroll history. That happened in 1987 when the President's Athletic Conference voted her as the Conference Pitcher of the Year. A 4-year letter winner and starter, Volmer served as a team captain in 1987. She was part of the first 4-year class in the program's history and established several team records both as a hitter and a pitcher. Her single-season ERA in 1987 is still a school record. In her first 2 years with the Blue Streaks, she started 30 games in the outfield and compiled a career batting average of .398. Volmer would earn first-team All-PAC in 1987. Additionally, she played 4 years of basketball here at John Carroll, appearing in 79 games, scoring 611 points and grabbing 504 rebounds. She was honorable mention All-PAC as a junior and was also a 2-time team captain in basketball. Volmer lettered 8 times covering 2 sports. Although she could not attend our ceremony this evening, we still wish to welcome Mary Volmer Orsler from the class of 1987 into the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame and accept on her behalf. Michael Lyons is exactly the kind of person you want on your team if your goal is winning. Because as we all know, winning is better than losing. Whether it was guarding the net or the third baseline, Michael Lyons was willing to do what it took not to let the ball go by him, even if that meant breaking an ankle. He was a 3-time all-conference goalkeeper for the men's soccer team, with his top honor being first team in 1994. During his time as a starter, John Carroll was a 3-time league regular season champion, as well as a 1993 OAC tournament champion, which was the first in program history. The Blue Streaks compiled a team record of 58, 13, and 3 during his 4 years. At the time he graduated, he was the winningest goalkeeper in program history. He collected 51 wins and was a spectacular 28, 4, and 3 in OAC games. He also recorded a school record 29 shutouts, and the thing he's most proud of is he never lost a game at home, going 25, 0, and 2. In baseball, he appeared in 76 games and was a lifetime .283 hitter. He was also a great student athlete, academic All-OAC 4 times, twice in both soccer and baseball, Dean's List 5 times, and earned a total of 7 varsity letters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the John Carroll University Athletic Hall of Fame, from the class of 1995, Michael Lyons.
How about, let's give a hand for Chris Wensler. Is he everywhere? A week ago, I got an email from him Friday night. Saturday, he was in Pittsburgh photographing the John Carroll men's soccer team, and then he was tweeting out Saturday evening all kind of information about the sports program. John Carroll Athletics is here today. He even predates me. It's here where it is today, and all these awards and accolades, he's a big part of that. So thank you, Chris. I'd like to thank all the other inductees as well. Thank you for keeping your speeches short, because I'm going to fill the rest of that time. No, congratulations. It's incredible reading all the accolades that you guys have, and it's an honor to share the stage. And the 1989 football team I think John Carroll football has gotten the short end of the stick until recently. I think the foundation you guys laid and the wins you have is why we have such a nationally recognized team today. So congratulations, guys. The journey does not, standing here, it's not by myself. Obviously, there's a lot of people, there's countless people to thank. I thank the committee, the Hall of Fame committee, for this incredible and tremendous honor. When I look back at my Carroll years, maybe with the exception of my family, I can't think of an institution or entity that changed my life more. Through the backdrop of the Jesuit Foundation, I was challenged academically, grew spiritually in my faith, made lifelong friends, competed athletically at the highest of levels, and most importantly, gave me the opportunity to meet my wife and true companion, Anne Marie. We also were blessed with two beautiful boys, Tommy and Matt. Very proud of them. I'd like to also thank my in-laws. Unfortunately, they're not well enough to attend. And I'd like to thank my family. When you become a parent, you realize how blessed you are growing up. My mom, who had her own business, would take time out of the day and drive me everywhere. I don't know how she got her work done. There was one instance where she was picking me up from baseball practice in high school, 30 miles away. I don't even know how fast she was going to a soccer practice. She kept her composure even when the police pulled us over. She was fine until when the cop walked away, I said, "Hey Mom, am I gonna be late for practice?" My dad, the greatest coach I ever had. And that's saying a lot from the people that I have had the opportunity to play under. You were there for nearly every high school game and every college game. I was always a little unnerved until you showed up on the sidelines. And there was a time I debated whether to continue baseball. And I struggled an 0 for 4 Saturday game. And I came home, and Saturday morning, he's like, "You want to go hit baseballs?" And it was a field of dreams moment. It was just me, him, 9 in the morning. I am standing here because of him. So thank you, Dad. He also set up little backyard games in the backyard games. And my brother, probably I'll admit this now, he was the fiercest competitor I ever had. I just didn't want to lose to him. I didn't want to hear about it. Did Mom have to separate us? Yes, a lot. Was there blood? Yep, a lot of times. But he made me better. And my sister was not immune to that either. She would get caught in the games whether she wanted it or not. There was one instance where all she had to do was hit the ball past me. One time. I'm standing up here because of athletic prowess at the collegiate level. But I can tell you that afternoon, I made catches and plays that I've never made in my entire life. And I know she's scowling up here, but she did get to go in 30 minutes later. So how did I end up at Carroll? Mark Mazzalona. I had no idea where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. Coach, I walked in, he introduced himself. He said, "You're gonna wanna come to Carroll." He said, "I will take care of you like my own son." And I thought, man, this guy's laying it on pretty thick. He called me, never pressured me, always sold John Carroll. When I broke my ankle 10 games into my freshman year, he drove me to the hospital, brought the team to me to cheer me up, set up physical therapy, and when I got taken out a day early, he came and picked me up. That's the guy you want. That's why I came to John Carroll. Although, I said, I don't know if I want to play baseball or not. So he walked me over to Mr. John Carroll, Coach Schweikert. Coach Schweikert was awesome. I love playing baseball. I love being in on-deck circle and hearing his little nuggets, his little things that tell me, make me laugh, keep it light. I was very fortunate, and congratulations to Coach Schweikert, because this is a special year for JCU because we are celebrating his 100th year with the program. Donnie McPhillips, They drilled 3 screws into my leg. And, you know, I had my doubts. He said, "You're going to do it." And, you know, when I walked in, it was always a smart aleck comment. Get your butt going. This isn't going to work itself. Keep going. And I'm cleaning it up a little bit. And Donnie, that one time we got stuck in the storm of the century at a dry town in North Carolina for 48 hours. I'm sorry we kept you up praying for all that time. So I was fortunate enough, I was heartbroken. Coach Mazzalona left. I felt like I lost a friend. But Coach Casamani came into our lives. And I was like, man, I don't know if this guy can play. So we had a scrimmage. We started separating, and he was on the other team. Who does that? Who plays college athletics as the coach? He came in, and I was going to stop him. First ball came across, 10 yards. He hit a side volley. I heard it go by my ear and went right in the net. I was like, okay, this guy can coach me. I've never had a guy that could clearly communicate and relate to his players like he did. And he would warm me up, and he would talk to me. Hey, what's your favorite folk music? What do you think of Middle Eastern oil policy? How do you motivate kids? I'm like, Kaz, I'm just trying to stop it here. I've never quite met a person like Ali Kazemani. And I always, coach later, I always thought in my head, WWKD, what would Kaz do? And I would be remiss if I didn't use this opportunity to talk about Coach Straub. Coach Straub had one of the more interesting introductions. He said, "I'm your new assistant soccer coach, and I know nothing about soccer." But he was such a sincere and genuine person, and an incredible role model for us. The only time he ever lost it was when he slid 30 feet down a hill covered in mud, and he said some un-Jesuit words. To my teammates, I think it can be summed up when I called one of my former teammates and friends, Matt Sullivan. And I told him, and he was excited, and he said, "Congratulations, we made it." And that really was hard for me to hear without crying. I was very blessed to play on conference championship teams. All OAC players, all-time John Carroll assist players, all goal scoring, tremendous defensive players. They made me better every day on the field. As great as it was, there were even better people. I've never been on a team where you would ride down the bus with one teammate, eat with another one, sit at the game with another one, and ride home with a separate one. We were so close, we were tight-knit, we invested in each other, and that bond is still relevant today. Not only we talk about old games, but we talk about our families and our wives and how we're doing. The soccer program has just taken off since we have played. They were up to 4th nationally. Hector and Dayon have taken the program to unbelievable heights. And I hope the committee will still remember us old guys. I still have a friend, Pete Dugan, is the all-time John Carroll assist leader. Hopefully he can someday make it up here. He played offense. Defense never gets any credit. Offense gets the goals. So this is probably the only time that I'd like to also thank my defenders. Marty Gillespie, Matt Polino, Matt Sullivan, Dave Rischel, Trent Hurst, Michael Papp, Eric Chiprich, Brian Painter, Jeff Hunkley, Mike Papp, and Mike Zuckel. And there is, if I had the honor to have 51 wins and given up no goals, or not losing any home games, then if my good friend and amazing player Tommy Hahn has 58 wins and no home losses, I hope to share the podium someday with him up here. In closing, Thank you again for making this evening so special for me and the other inductees. To be rewarded after you put your heart and soul into something like this is an indescribable feeling. Frankly, it hasn't sunk in yet. We all walk by those plaques coming in, and I remember being a freshman, looking at those plaques. And I remember looking for a soccer one, wondering, what's that like? Well, Tim O'Callahan, the godfather of the Carroll soccer program, I share a space on the wall with you, and I no longer have to wonder what that feeling is. I loved, cherished, and appreciated every time I put on a Blue Streak uniform and represented John Carroll University. And there's one last thing that I miss. After every win, Matt and Sullivan and I had a tradition. So Matt, I want one more hug as I walk off the stage. Get up here. Thank you, guys.